Hello, I want to show you my rib recipe. Everybody's asked, how did you make those 4th of July ribs last year? So this is how I made them. It's very easy. All you do is stick them in the oven at 350 until they're nice and tender and up to about 170 degrees internal temperature. Here's the items we're going to need today. As you can see, some spare ribs, some Lipton onion soup mix, an onion, some Kraft Original barbecue sauce, a large Pyrex pan, some garlic, and some celery. I'm going to start preparing the items and then I'll show you what it looks like. The first thing I do is chop up some celery into big pieces because whenever it cooks, it's going to cook down a lot. So try not to make it too small, but about 1 inch size is the way you do it. Place all of the ribs with the fatty side, if there is a fatty side. Sometimes, like this one, there's not much fat. But just find which ribs have the most fat in it and place them upwards. And then what we're going to do is just dump all of your celery directly on top of the ribs like this. No magic way of doing it. Just throw it all in. And then now let's chop up some onions, and we'll put some onions on here also. Okay, I've chopped up some onions, and we're going to throw some onions into the top of the ribs. Just like that. Wonderful thing about making this dish is just how easy it is. And then we're going to take some, for seasoning, some Lipton onion soup mix. I'm going to set the camera down for a second. Open it up. And simply sprinkle this on the top. As you can see, just how easy making ribs is. It takes a little bit long for them to cook, but the preparation is what is so easy about it. And now we're going to add some water to it. And they call this braising. Basically what it is boiling something inside of the oven. But there you go. Just put this over here and add some water to it. Just enough to kind of cover the bottom of it. Like so. Alright, now I have water in the pan. And as you can kind of see, I'll make a close-up of what that looks like. There we go. And now let's add some Kraft barbecue sauce. I guess you could use any flavor you like, but man, I really like this cheap, I think it's like $1 Kraft barbecue sauce. It adds a real nice flavor to it. And just dump it all in like that. And now let's get some aluminum foil and cover it up. Oh, I forgot to say, stir it up a little bit. I use a little plastic spoon like this just to kind of mix the juices in. And if you have garlic, you can put a garlic and just take a garlic clove and you can chop it up or just throw it in whole however you want it. Just a couple of cloves of garlic makes it taste real good. And the way I do that is I take it and kind of take the skin. I push down like that, and then you see the skin just comes right off, and then chop it up, and then just take the little pieces and kind of throw it into the pot, to your plate. And the garlic's going to add a real nice flavor to this. And that was 2 little cloves. Now we'll add 1 more. Just chop it up real quickly, like this. There you go. And this is what it looks like before we put it into the oven. As you can see, the barbecue sauce and the water has all mixed together along with the Lipton soup mix. And this is just barbecue. This is just some ribs that I got at Kroger, this local store. And putting everything like this into the oven. And what we did is I set the oven to 350 degrees. And we're going to put that in there for 2 hours and basically unattended. Just cover it up with some aluminum foil, stick it in the oven, and we can check on it in about 2 hours. Okay, I wrapped the ribs up with some aluminum foil around all the way, and it's nice and tight. And now what we're going to do is take the whole thing over and stick it into the middle of the oven like so, and close it up, and kind of forget about it for about 2 hours. So let's push 2 hours on our timer, and let's see here. Okay, it's been about 2 hours, and while that was cooking in the oven, I managed to make some macaroni and cheese and some green beans. So let's go ahead now and we'll pull this stuff out of the oven and let's see how it looks. It's been about 2 hours and 10 minutes. Alright, here we go. Look at that, you can really see that bubbling on there. That's pretty cool. Super duper hot. Alright, so then what you do is you take your meat thermometer and you stick it in and you see what temperature it gets up to. Of course, the meat's falling off the bone, so that usually indicates that it's ready. And it gets way past 170 degrees, so we know it's done and safe to eat. And here's what the finished product looks like. And now what I like to do is I like taking with the lid off and browning the top. Just stick it back in the oven for another 15 minutes and that'll help brown the ribs a little bit. If you want to, you can remove it from the tray and just put it like on like a cookie sheet, and that'll help brown it too. Alright, hope this video was informative and hope you enjoy your dinner. And here is the final product, ready to go.